Okay, good morning and welcome to our first lesson on reflection. So we are on lesson 6-2 in our note packet, and we're going to talk about analyzing reflections today. Okay, so if you are in my class, we are on the second page of our note packet, and right underneath where it says 6-2 analyze reflections, you might need to pause the video to write what I have written for the two definitions, so go ahead and do that now, or you can write them as I read. So a reflection is going to be a flip or a transformation that flips a figure over a line of reflection. The line of reflection is the line over which the figure is reflected. So let's just talk about our first example so we can explain this further. So in our first example, I already have this in, but it says polygon ABCDE has vertices A negative 5, 2, B negative 5, 4, C negative 4, 5, D negative 3, 5, and E negative 3, 2. And I have already graphed them here. If you need to pause the video and graph them yourself, go ahead and do that now. Graph and label the vertices of A, B, C, D, E, and its image, all the primes here, A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime, E prime, after a reflection across the x-axis. Okay, so we're going to do that first. So the x-axis is going to be our line of reflection. It identifies what we want to use. So our x-axis, in this case, it might help you to darken in the line or highlight the line. But our x-axis, remember, is the axis that is horizontally across right here. So we're going to reflect this guy right here over this line. So we're going to flip it over. And not only are we going to flip it over, but we have to make sure it's accurate. So the way we do that is by counting the number of units it is away from it. So let's start with looking at A. So on the negative 5 line, A is 1, 2 squares away from our line of reflection. So it's 2 above it. The opposite of that would make to be put A prime 2 below it. So 1, 2 below the line is where we're going to put A prime. Okay, notice it's on the same line. It's just now the opposite direction. So B is 1, 2, 3, 4 above our line of reflection. So we need it to be 1, 2, 3, 4 below our line of reflection. So B prime on that same line is 4 below. Okay, now C is on our negative x equal negative 4 line. So we can see that on that line, C is 5 above the line of reflection. So we need our C prime to be 5 below our line of reflection. All right, same with D. D is now on our x equal negative 3 line, and it is 5 above. So we need to count it 5 below and label it D prime. And finally, E is on our line x equal negative 3 also, and it's 2 above. So E is going to land 2 below. And then you want to make sure you reconnect your figure. Reconnect those dots. And it should look identical to your original, only like it flipped over that line of reflection, and it does. So this is how we do a reflection. Now, it says, did the side lengths or the angles of the original polygon change? Oop, and I made a mistake here. It should say A, B, C, D, E under this transformation. The side lengths, if you notice, like D to E is 3 units, right? So D prime to E prime is also 3 units. You can see that the side lengths remained the same. The angles, as you see right here, E is a 90-degree angle. E prime is flipped over and also a 90-degree angle. The angles are also the same. The orientation or the direction in which it's facing is not the same, okay? That is different. And it is flipped over the line of reflection. So that's the basics of reflections. Now, the thing that's going to change as we go about this is, what is your line of reflection? So this is your basics, is that you have to use your line of reflection, identify it, and your corresponding vertices have to be the same distance from the line of reflection all the way through. Let's try another one. Okay, so if you flip the packet over to the next page, for me, if you have my class, we're going to do example 2, and then example 3 we're going to save for our next lesson. Okay, so it says, reflect figure STJA over the line x equal 2. So notice it does not say x-axis. So what we need to do is figure out where that line is. So if you recall, x equal 2 means that I need to use the x-axis, okay? And I'm going to find where x on that x-axis, where positive 2 is. So this is 0, 0 right here in the middle. And so positive 2 means right 2. So this is where x equal 2 is, right there. Now, the line for that is going to be this whole entire line at x equal 2. So this right here is going to be our line of reflection. Sorry, we should make that go like that. Okay, so this is our line of reflection. Now, we're going to flip this figure over this line now. So, instead of going up and down, we're flipping it over now a vertical line. So, let's start with the point A. A is 1 unit away to the right of our line of reflection. So, to reflect it, we're going to count 1 unit to the left on that same line. So if we go 1 unit to the left, A prime should land right here. Then we're going to go to, now let's go up to S. So S is 1, 2 units to the right. So we're going to go 1, 2 units to the left of our line of reflection. And that's S prime. Then I'm going to go down to T. T is 1, 2, 3 units to the right. So to reflect it, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 units to the left of my line of reflection. Notice I'm not using either axis now. I'm using only the line of reflection in the squares. All right, so now my J is 1, 2 units to the right. So I'm going to reflect it 1, 2 units to the left for J prime. And then again, we're going to go ahead and reconnect our figure. And it should look as if I flipped that over the line. In fact, if you were to fold our paper here on that line of reflection, fold it right up, they would land right and kiss each other, and they would make the exact same image. Okay, this is our basics for reflections. We are going to do an assignment today. The assignment will be the worksheet that is titled Reflections Number 1 worksheet. And on there, I will get you started. So let's start with number 1 on the Reflections Number 1 worksheet. So very first one, it says, reflection across the line x equal 4. So the hardest part here sometimes is identifying that line. So x equal 4 means we're going to use the x-axis. So that's this one going to the left and right. So x equal 4, I can see it right here, right? So here's x equal 4. Now, the line, the part that's hard for students is that the line now is not the x-axis. It's the line that goes through that, that spot. And I just did mine a little bit off. I should have used a ruler. Okay, so this is my line of reflection. Okay, and now I'm going to take this figure and I'm going to flip it over that line. So I'm going to do that by counting. So let's start with A. A is 1, 2 units to the right of the line. So to get A prime, I'm going to go 1, 2 units to the left of that line, and I'm going to mark it A prime. B, now if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to the right of the line, so I'm going to start at that line of reflection. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. I'm right out to the edge here for B prime. Now I'm going to go to C. On this line, I am 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the left. I'm going to label that C prime. Now I'm going to go to D. D is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to the right, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to the left for D prime. E is only 2 units to the right, so I'm going to make it go 2 units left for E prime. And finally, F is 1, 2, 3 units to the right, so I'm going to make it go 1, 2, 3 to the left. Now, make sure you connect them in order because now this looks like kind of a hot mess. So, and here, A connects, it's like a dot to dot. A has to connect to B, which connects to C, which connects to D, then E, then F, then back to A again. And it should look identical to the one you started, only flipped over, and that would be our answer. Okay, hopefully this is enough information to get you started. Oh, really quick. The reflection across the line y equals x might throw you off. That line is actually going to be, the line y equal x is a diagonal line. It's our only diagonal that we're going to be working with. And that's going to go through the 0, 0, and it's going to go diagonal all the way through your graph. So to be able to do that and reflect it over, you've got to count your diagonal squares. So right here, right, we're on this line 1, 2 diagonal. So this one would be 1, 2 diagonal. We're going to get it right here. So this would be L prime. And that should get you started with this one. That's the only diagonal. Okay, hopefully this is enough to get you started on this lesson and get you through these 8 questions. If you have any questions on your worksheet, please make sure that you email me and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great day.